All right, let's get back to this Biden versus Bezos feud that we saw erupt over the weekend. Amazon founder, Chief Jeff Bezos, taking aim at the president after he called on companies running gas stations to just, well, lower prices. Biden tweeting, quote, "Bring down the price you are charging at the pump to reflect the cost you're paying for the product and do it now." Well, Jeff Bezos responding with this, quote, "Inflation is far too important a problem for the White House to keep making statements like this. It's either straight ahead misdirection or a deep misunderstanding of basic market dynamics." The United States Oil and Gas Association jumping into all of this, tweeting, quote, "Make sure the White House intern who posted this tweet registers for Econ 101 come this fall." Okay, joining the conversation all morning long, we have Michael Lee Strategy founder Michael Lee and Defense of Freedom Institute for Policy Studies spokesperson Angela Morabito. Good morning to both of you. And Michael, I'm going to start with you. Your reaction to all of this, in particular, Jeff Bezos saying that the president doesn't understand economics.
Yeah, well, Jeff Bezos knows that there's a power shift coming this fall. And so what he's trying to do is pretend as if he's not partially responsible for the situation we're in, being that he owns the Washington Post, which is his personal propaganda outfit. Much of the climate nonsense, war on fossil fuels, is played out on the pages of his own personal tabloid. At first, it's nice to see someone powerful push back against this administration that wouldn't normally do it. But he's trying to be Elon, and he's not Elon. He's a guy who practices several predatory practices, putting small business owners out on the street, doing whatever he can to steal whatever type of market share he could possibly get, using whatever type of tactics he can get to just paint light on the fact that this administration has declared war on fossil fuels. And one of the first things Joe Biden said when he was running for president in 2019 was, "I'm going to end the fossil fuel industry." Well, this is playing out now. And, all Joe Biden wants to do and the Biden administration wants to do is blame everyone else but themselves, because it is crushing their popularity and therefore limiting their power. So if people were in favor of higher gas prices, or it wasn't having the impact it was, you wouldn't hear any of this. But now we need to vilify the small business owner. And Jeff Bezos is right. This defies basic economics. But in terms of Jeff Bezos virtual signaling about the Biden administration talking nonsense, give me a break. This is just as much his fault as is theirs.
I agree with you. And Angela, the Wall Street Journal editorial board took it a step further, and they say the president doesn't appear to know anything about how the private economy works. And they say that this tweet betrayed a willful ignorance about the private economy.
They're absolutely right. This White House does not understand the fact that supply and demand remain undefeated. And instead of making this country a leader, an energy exporter, energy independent, they would rather have us depend on foreign powers for our energy, and would rather say, oh, go buy a Tesla, rather than complain about prices at the pump. They don't understand economics. They don't understand the pain at the pump that everyday Americans are feeling. And Michael is right. When they cannot blame Republicans, they blame Russia. And when they can't blame Republicans or Russia, they blame private industry. And blame is what you do when you don't have a plan.
Yeah, because, of course, Michael, it was those evil, greedy oil companies. Yet if you look at how gas stations actually operate in this country, look, large refiners own fewer than 5% of all these gas stations. These are 60% of the gas stations in this country are mom and pop businesses, and they don't make money on gasoline. Any profit they make goes to the real estate that they're paying. It goes to the taxes that they're paying, transportation. And that simple fact, Michael, seems to have evaded, again, all of those Ivy League educated economists that I think work at the White House.
Well, Cheryl, they know this, right? They just think you're too stupid to know it, and they want you to blame the little small business owner who's out there who makes the bulk of his profit comes from inside the shop. So when gas costs 3 times as much as it did a few years ago, people have less money to buy slushies and Slurpees and Cokes and other sorts of snacks in there, which actually drive the profit for these small business owners. So remember, if you're the everyday average American, not only do they look down on you, they pretty much hate you.
Yeah, and they think that we are stupid. And I think that we're going to get into the polls later, but both polls are now showing that the American people are not stupid, and they've had it.